What if instead of being the hero, Naruto became the villain and betrayed the Leaf Village? How different would his life be if he joined the Akatsuki instead? Young Naruto grows up completely alone in the Hidden Leaf Village, hated and feared by everyone without understanding why. The third Hokage tries to look after him, but is too busy running the village, and the few people who show kindness like Iruka and the Ichiraku ramen family aren't enough to counterbalance the overwhelming hatred. Unlike the original timeline, where Naruto's natural optimism helped him push through this pain, in this darker timeline those qualities get twisted into something dangerous. Instead of wanting to prove everyone wrong by becoming Hokage, Naruto starts to genuinely hate the village that rejected him. The real turning point comes when Naruto is around 12 years old and discovers the truth about his identity. He's the son of Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage whom everyone worships as a hero, and his father sealed the nine-tailed fox inside him as a baby, sacrificing both himself and Naruto's mother to save the village. This discovery absolutely shatters whatever fate Naruto still had, as he realizes his father chose to doom his own son to a life of suffering, and the village repaid that sacrifice by treating their son like a monster. The anger and betrayal are overwhelming, transforming him into something completely different. From the cheerful boy who dreamed of becoming Hokage, he doesn't want to protect the village anymore, but wants to make everyone who hurt him suffer and tear down everything his father died to protect. The Nine-Tailed senses this shift and begins feeding him even more hatred and dark thoughts, encouraging his desire for revenge. Naruto doesn't graduate from the academy, but instead runs away from the Leaf Village in the middle of the night, knowing he needs to find allies and get stronger to destroy the village. His departure goes largely unnoticed, as most villagers are relieved the demon fox child is gone. During his journey, Obito Uchiha, operating as Tobi, finds Naruto in the wilderness. Obito approaches Naruto carefully, presenting himself as someone who also suffered because of the Leaf Village's cruelty. He tells Naruto about his tragic past and explains his plan to create a perfect world through the infinite Tsukuyomi, a genjutsu that will trap everyone in an eternal dream where Naruto could see his parents again and experience the love and acceptance the real world denied him. This vision resonates deeply with Naruto's broken heart. Obito presents himself as Madara Uchiha and tells Naruto about the Akatsuki, an organization working to gather all the tailed beasts to reshape the world. He explains that Naruto is crucial to his plan, but unlike the Leaf Village that only saw him as a weapon or monster, Obito offers him purpose, longing, and the chance to make the world pay for its cruelty. Naruto agrees to join the Akatsuki without hesitation because for the first time, someone is treating him like he matters. Obito takes Naruto under his wing and begins training him personally, teaching him how to access and control the Nine-Tails chakra much earlier than in the original timeline. Without moral restraints and fear of hurting friends, Naruto taps into the fox's power recklessly. Naruto's training with the Akatsuki transforms him into something terrifying. Unlike his training with Jiraiya in the original timeline, which focused on control and protecting others, his training with Obito focuses purely on destructive power and using the Nine-Tailed strength without limitations. Obito teaches Naruto that the shinobi world operates on strength alone and that mercy is weakness, which Naruto easily accepts as it confirms everything he believes about the cruel world that rejected him. Within just a few years, Naruto becomes incredibly powerful, mastering multiple forms of the Nine-Tails transformation and pushing himself to access more chakra without caring about the damage to his body. The seal his father created begins weakening from the constant strain, but Naruto sees this as a good thing, wanting to break free from his father's final attempt to control him. The Nine-Tails actively helps Naruto grow stronger by sharing its chakra more freely than in the original timeline. Obito introduces Naruto to the other Akatsuki members gradually. Pain and Konan are initially skeptical about adding a teenage Jinchuriki to their ranks, but Obito convinces them that Naruto is essential to their ultimate plan. Hisame respects his raw power. Itachi watches carefully, seeing a dark reflection of what Sasuke might become. And Deidara, Sasori, Hidan, and Kakuzu view Naruto as just another tool. During his time with the Akatsuki, Naruto learns the full truth about the organization's goals and the conspiracy behind it. This revelation only strengthens Naruto's resolve. In his mind, the real world is irredeemable and filled with nothing but pain and hatred. A dream world where he can be with his parents and where nobody suffers sounds infinitely better than the reality he experienced. Unlike the original timeline where Naruto fought to protect the bonds he made, in this timeline he has no precious bond to protect. The Akatsuki members are colleagues, not friends. His only goal is revenge against the Leaf Village and creating a world where he can finally be happy. Meanwhile, back at the Leaf Village, events unfold very differently without Naruto's presence. The Chunin exams still happen, but become much more deadly without Naruto there to inspire and protect his teammates. Team 7 consists of only Sasuke and Sakura, with Kakashi struggling to train them. And Sasuke becomes even more isolated and obsessed with power without Naruto, as a rival pushing him to grow stronger in a healthy way. During the Chunin exams, Orochimaru still attacks the Leaf Village and places his curse mark on Sasuke, planting seeds of corruption. Without Naruto there to fight alongside him and remind him of the bonds they share, Sasuke falls to Orochimaru's manipulation much more quickly. The third Hokage still dies during Orochimaru's invasion, sacrificing himself to protect the village. His death deeply affects many people, but very few in the village even remember remember the blonde troublemaker who ran away years ago, with most villagers assuming he died somewhere in the wilderness. Tsunade still becomes the 5th Hokage after Jiraiya tracks her down and convinces her to return. When Jiraiya mentions during their search that his former student's son disappeared years ago, Tsunade's heart breaks for her teammate, understanding the weight of that loss even though she never met Naruto. When she takes up the mantle of Hokage, one of her first actions is to send search parties to try to find any trace of Minato's son. These search parties find nothing because Naruto is already long gone, hidden away with the Akatsuki in their secret bases. After the Chunin exam, Sasuke becomes obsessed with gaining power to kill Itachi, and the curse Mark Orochimaru planted spreads corruption through his body and mind. When Orochimaru's Sound 4 arrive to offer him power beyond anything the Leaf Village can provide, he doesn't hesitate nearly as long as in the original timeline, because there's no Naruto to make him question his decision or remind him of what he's throwing away. Sasuke tries desperately to stop him, even offering to go with him, but Sasuke coldly rejects her and walks away. A retrieval team led by Shikamaru pursues them, consisting of Shikamaru, Choji, Neji, Hiba, and others. But without Naruto's determination, the Nine-Tails' power to support them, the mission ends in tragedy. The Sound 4 proved too powerful, with Choji nearly dying, Neji suffering crippling injuries, and Hiba barely surviving. The retrieval team fails completely, and several members end up hospitalized for months. This failure weighs heavily on everyone involved, especially Shikamaru, who led the mission. Sakura blames herself for not being strong enough to stop Sasuke, and Kakashi feels he failed as a teacher to all 3 of his original students. Even the Leaf Village's morale takes a significant hit, and it becomes clear that without Naruto's unique ability to inspire and bring people together, things fall apart much more easily. Under Orochimaru's mentorship, Sasuke grows incredibly powerful at an alarming rate, as the Sannin teaches him forbidden techniques and helps develop his Sharingan to higher levels. Orochimaru plans to eventually take Sasuke's body for himself, but Sasuke knows this and plans to kill the Sannin before that can happen. Without Naruto's influence teaching him about bonds and trust, Sasuke becomes completely ruthless and willing to do absolutely anything for power. As Naruto grows stronger with the Akatsuki, the organization begins actively hunting tailed beasts, and missions proceed much more smoothly because they have the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki working with them instead of against them. Naruto participates in several hunts using his overwhelming power to help capture Jinchuriki from other villages. The one-tailed Jinchuriki Gaara falls much more easily without Naruto there to understand his pain and offer friendship, and the extraction kills him. Though Chiyo sacrifices herself trying to revive him, it doesn't work without Naruto's Nine-Tails chakra to help sustain Gaara's life force. The other tail beasts fall one by one to the Akatsuki's combined efforts, with each successful extraction spreading fear across the shinobi world. The shinobi villages begin to panic, and the 5 Kage meet to discuss forming an alliance against this common threat. But old grudges and mistrust make cooperation difficult. Without Naruto there to unite people with his charisma and determination, like in the original timeline, the shinobi world remains fractured and vulnerable, with each village focusing primarily on protecting their own interests rather than working together for the greater good. One of the darkest divergences come when Jiraiya tracks down information about Pain and infiltrates the Akatsuki hideout in Amegakure, searching for his godson Naruto. What he discovers breaks his heart completely. Naruto is now a cold, powerful young man who radiates hatred and chakra, with the Nine-Tails influence visible in his appearance even when not transformed. Jiraiya tries desperately to reach out, explaining that Minato sealed the Nine-Tails because he trusted his son to be strong enough to control it, and talking about Kushina's warm heart to show Naruto he comes from love, not hatred. But Naruto rejects everything, calling Minato a coward who chose the village over his own son, and saying his parents should have found another way that didn't condemn their child to loneliness and pain. The confrontation escalates into a full battle. Jiraiya fights desperately, trying to subdue Naruto without killing him, but Naruto has no such reservations and fights with full intent to kill, accessing multiple tails of the Nine-Tails chakra. The battle is brutal and devastating, and Jiraiya realizes too late he's fighting for his life. In the original timeline, Pain killed Jiraiya, but he died gathering information that would help Naruto defeat his enemy. In this timeline, Jiraiya's death serves no purpose except to feed Naruto's growing power. In his final moments, Jiraiya looks at Naruto with sadness rather than anger, understanding this is what happens when a child is left to suffer alone for too long. Naruto delivers the killing blow without ceremony or remorse. Jiraiya's death devastates Tsunade and sends shockwaves through the shinobi world, with the Leaf Village realizing Minato's son has become one of the deadliest enemies. Pain's assault on the Leaf Village happens very differently in this timeline because the Akatsuki already have Naruto and the Nine-Tails on their side. Naruto himself returns to the village that rejected him, standing alongside Pain to demonstrate the Akatsuki's overwhelming power and enact revenge. The battle is completely one-sided from the beginning as Pain unleashes his six paths while Naruto transforms into his Nine-Tails cloak form, wielding power no one in the village can match. Kakashi recognizes his sensei's son and tries desperately to reach out, but Naruto responds with pure venom, saying his father was a fool who chose strangers over his own family. family. Kakashi fights to protect the village, but is outmatched and falls to Pain's assault while Naruto watches coldly. Tsunade mobilizes every available shinobi and tries to appeal to Naruto as someone who knew his parents, but Naruto's response crushes any hope. Tsunade overextends herself, trying to protect people, and falls into a coma from chakra exhaustion that she never recovers from. The casualties mount at a horrifying rate, with the Akimichi, Nara, and Yamanaka clans suffering devastating losses. When Pain uses his massive Shinra Tensei to level the entire village, Naruto doesn't try to stop him, but instead helps by adding his own Nine Tails chakra to the destruction, ensuring nothing survives the blast. The technique obliterates everything, reducing the Hidden Leaf village to a crater filled with rubble and bodies. Standing in the ruins of his former home, Naruto feels no remorse or sadness. The few survivors who manage to escape are left traumatized and broken. The Leaf Village, one of the 5 great shinobi villages that stood for generations, has been effectively destroyed with its military power shattered, its leadership dead, and its people scattered. The 4th Great Ninja War begins under very different circumstances than the original timeline. The shinobi villages finally unite, but only after the Akatsuki has already collected 8 of the 9-tailed beasts, and after the leaf has been destroyed. Only the 8-tails Jinchuriki killer B manages to escape capture thanks to his perfect synchronization with his tailed beast and the Hidden Cloud village's protection. Obito reveals himself and declares war on the entire shinobi world, promising to create a perfect reality through the infinite Tsukuyomi. The 5 Kage stand together, but without Naruto as the symbol of hope and unity, their alliance is fragile and filled with tension as old grudges resurface. Kabuto joins forces with Obito, bringing his Edo Tensei army of reanimated legendary shinobi, and Madara Uchiha gets revived as planned, becoming one of the most terrifying forces on the battlefield. Without Naruto there to inspire the alliance and turn the tide at critical moments, the casualties mount at a horrifying rate. Sasuke's role in the war is completely different from the original timeline. After killing Orochimaru and absorbing his power, he learns the truth about Itachi from Tobi and finds out that Itachi was actually protecting the village by massacring his clan under orders from the Leaf's leadership. The truth drives Sasuke completely insane with rage. Rather than eventually deciding to protect the village, Sasuke vows to destroy the Leaf village completely for what they made Itachi do. He forms his own team called Taka and actively works against the allied shinobi forces during the war, fighting anyone and everyone, driven purely by his desire for vengeance. He kills several important characters, including Danzo, during a confrontation that leaves him even more bitter and broken. The war reaches its critical phase when Obito finally has 8-tailed beasts sealed within the Gedo statue, and the allied shinobi forces mount a desperate assault to stop the ritual, but they're fighting a losing battle. Despite the allied shinobi forces' best efforts, they fail to stop the Akatsuki's plan. Obito captures Killer Bee through a coordinated assault, and with all 8-tailed beasts secured, Naruto volunteers himself willingly. The 9-tails is extracted from Naruto in a controlled ritual, and thanks to his Uzumaki bloodline, he survives the extraction but is left severely weakened. All 9-tailed beasts are sealed into the Gedo statue, reviving the 10-tails. The allied shinobi forces attack desperately, but their attacks barely scratch it. Obito becomes the 10-tails Jinchuriki, transforming into a godlike being with power beyond anything witnessed, and prepares to cast the infinite Tsukuyomi. Madara betrays Obito at the last minute, fighting him for control of the 10-tails power in a battle between 2 godlike beings. While they battle, Naruto watches from the sidelines, too weak to intervene, hoping whoever wins hurries up and casts Tsukuyomi so this nightmare can finally end. Madara ultimately beats Obito through superior combat experience and ruthlessness, absorbing the 10-tails completely and becoming an even more powerful Jinchuriki. He activates the Rinnegan in both eyes and prepares to cast infinite Tsukuyomi, reflecting his Rinne Sharingan onto the moon. The light spreads across the entire world, and everyone from the mightiest Kage to the weakest civilian gets caught in the Genjutsu, falling unconscious and trapped in their own perfect dreams. Naruto doesn't resist the Tsukuyomi's pull, but welcomes it with open arms. As a Genjutsu takes hold, he sees exactly what he's always wanted, himself as a child playing with both his parents in a small house filled with warmth and love, with Minato teaching him techniques and Kushina cooking dinner. It's everything the real world denied him, and it feels absolutely perfect. The perfect dream doesn't last as long as anyone thought. While everyone is trapped in the infinite Tsukuyomi, Black Zetsu enacts the final stage of his ancient plan. This creature is actually the physical manifestation of Kaguya Otsutsuki's will, created 1,000 years ago to eventually revive her. Black Zetsu has been manipulating events for centuries, subtly guiding the reincarnations of Indra and Asura toward conflict to create the conditions necessary for his mother's return. He manipulated Madara into believing the infinite Tsukuyomi was his own idea, influenced Obito's descent into darkness, and even played a role in ensuring Naruto became the dark, vengeful person he is now. The betrayal happens swiftly as Black Zetsu merges, with Madara taking control of his body and using him as a vessel for Kaguya's resurrection. Kaguya Otsutsuki emerges, and her power is absolutely incomprehensible. Her goal is to reclaim all the chakra that spread throughout humanity by using the God Tree to drain everyone trapped in the infinite Tsukuyomi, transforming them into white Zetsu soldiers for her army. The few remaining fighters try desperately to stop Kaguya, but it is hopeless. Without Naruto and Sasuke working together like in the original timeline, without their combined power and six paths abilities granted by Hagoromo, there's no way to seal Kaguya. Sasuke makes one last desperate attack, driven by his hatred and desire to prove he's the strongest, activating all his powers including the eternal Mangekyou, Sharingan, and Rinnegan abilities. But Kaguya casually defeats him, impaling him with her bone technique and draining his chakra. Sasuke dies realizing there are some enemies that raw strength alone can never overcome. The remaining shinobi fall one by one, fighting with everything they have, but nothing works. Kaguya is simply too powerful, and they're too few without Naruto to unite and inspire them. The God Tree grows larger, its roots spreading across the entire planet, wrapping every human in its embrace and draining their chakra to feed Kaguya's rebirth. In the end, Kaguya achieves complete victory as the God Tree absorbs everyone's chakra, transforming humanity into white Zetsu and ending the shinobi world. Naruto remains trapped in his perfect dream, living out an eternal fantasy with his parents, where he becomes Hokage and experiences the love he never had. His chakra slowly drains away, but he never wakes up to see the destruction his choices caused. In his dream, he's finally happy, and that's all that matters to him. Subscribe and smash the like button for more Naruto videos.